Yo, what's going on, man? Today is December the 6th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show where I'm live on Twitter. I'm also live on YouTube as well. Do me a favor if you guys can and hit the like button for me as you join. It's greatly appreciated as always. And let's get into it, man. We got a lot of games to break down today. Real quick on the recap. Another, just whatever makes sense, you bet against it and it might win. I was on Jalen Brunson last night. He did not cash. I was on Devin Booker last night. He also did not cash. So shout out to the Bucks for running it up against the Knicks yesterday. The Knicks absolutely looked abysmal. Looked like they've never played basketball together in their lives. And then also shout out to the Devin Booker led Phoenix Suns. Every time I bet on or a player prop for the Phoenix Suns, it typically goes the other way. So Devin Booker looked like he wasn't an MVP candidate last night. Shot the ball poorly. Turnovers, yada, yada, yada. They looked terrible last night. Craziest part is my other two leans that I talked about, of course, both cash, and those were the players that were at home. That was Damian Lillard, and that was LeBron James. I didn't bet either one of them, but, it happens, man. It happens. All together, we're still up about 20 units on the season, but it's unacceptable, if I'm being honest. Like, it's really, really bad. I've been losing consistently, for the last few days, going on a month now. Not sure what's going on Twitter. Let me see. Hold on. It looks like people aren't connected. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Bear with me if you guys are watching on YouTube. Just give me 1 second. Trying to figure this thing out. I don't know if the spaces are going on or not. Let's see. Spaces is not going on. So somehow Spaces got shut down. It must mean we about to be a winning day. So let me see if I can start this up again. Bear with me 1 second and we'll get right into it. We got a lot of games to talk about. I'm gonna be quick with my analysis. I'll be pretty quick with my analysis and we'll move through, man. We'll move through real quick in the comment section. Isaac says, I'm bumping Paul Wall all day. Houston, he likes the Rockets tonight. Okay. Navi says, what's up, Chris? Hit the like button, everyone. Appreciate that, Navi. He says, what is your opinion on that timeout call last night? The quick explanation on the timeout call last night, Navi, I won't get too much into it because we got a big show for today. I think that it's been a lot. It's been like this narrative going around that the Lakers are bound to make it to the in-season tournament game, to the in-season tournament championship, and LeBron's supposed to hoist the championship and yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, like if you know that the Lakers are going to get a favorable call, you don't put yourself in that situation. So a lot of people can say, that call is what determined the game last night. I think if you're Devin Booker and the Suns, don't turn the ball over so much. Don't get a better game from Nurkic. Devin Booker, how about you play a little bit better? You underperformed last night. You know what I mean? So I also think that Austin Reeves got fouled on the play, and it might have been a makeup call, right? So you look at the play, Austin Reeves clearly got bumped. Maybe the referees didn't call the foul, so they awarded the timeout. You see that all the time in basketball, bang bang situations. So a lot of conspiracy theories. I don't buy into any of that stuff. I think the Lakers could lose to the Pelicans tomorrow. I definitely think they could lose to the Bucks or the Pacers, right? Like, especially being at the rest disadvantage. Like, I don't buy the whole like I said, I'm not gonna venture off into that topic, but screw that timeout call. Like, play better. Don't let the game come down to one call. That's what I say if you're the Phoenix Suns. So complain about it, cry about it, whatever the case might be. I still think that Austin Reeves got fouled. It is what it is, and that's me backing Devin Booker last night. You play better. That way the game don't come down to that. Those are just my thoughts. I don't put all of it on one call. Y'all scored 100 points last night. Like, this one of the best offense. Y'all average 121 points. Like, score more points. I ain't trying to hear. Prolific says, what up, my boy? We are relentless at it again. Let's go, feeling like the Magic first half. We're going to talk about it. We'll get there. Fear Elite says, yo, let's get the bag tonight. That's absolutely what we're here for. Captain Zach says, after last night's game, it is safe to say the league wants the Lakers to win the tournament. Potentially, maybe. Justin says, what's happening, Chris? Personally, I'm about as cold as the damn Antarctic. So let's hopefully get this thing going again. Hit the like button too. I'm right there with you, Justin. I've been cold, man. I've been cold. Love the reads. Gonna keep playing, firing off on the reads. Typically, what I like to do is if I have a couple bad nights in a row, I'll typically scale back my units. I'm only playing a unit anyway, but I'm, half unit here, half unit there. And we had ran it up so much at the beginning. I actually took a large chunk of change out and bought some furniture and everything at the beginning of the season, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, oh, man. But we'll get it back. We'll get it back. Rod says, keep firing, Chris. We'll get right. That's a fact. That's a fact. Vaughn, this is something that I'm about to get back to. I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. It won't be every single day. But Vaughn on YouTube says, any chance you bringing back the morning show? So what I'm going to do is I will be doing morning shows here soon. There will be podcast form. There'll also be YouTube as well. I won't break down every single game, but I will look, maybe into like 3 games, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that, where I kind of, forecast and give you guys my notes from the game the night before so you guys can listen to it in the morning, because I know I do a late show, where we typically have all the news and information that we need in order to make bets. But sometimes it's good to get ahead of the line, especially if you got a feel for who you think is going to, be in and going to play for that game. So I'm glad you mentioned it, Vaughn. It is something, just be on the lookout for that. It'll be coming soon. Bad Meets Evil says, shout out to you, Chris. Let's get it today. Absolutely. Coop says, we know who the NBA wants to win the NBA Cup, judging by that timeout call. But the Suns shot themselves in the foot with all those turnovers. That's exactly what I said, Coop. Like, the other team's going to get a favorable whistle. You got to play even better in that situation. You can't come out and be down double digits at halftime, knowing how much this game, means to LeBron. LA says, flight to Vegas for the in-season tournament. Room. All I need is some blackjack money. Let's get it. All right, let's go, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Yeah, I got it. We got to get to it. I love all the comments and I love interacting with you guys, but we got to get straight to it today. So let's jump into it, man. Like I said, 0-2 yesterday on the recap. Failed on Brunson, also failed on Devin Booker. But let's go to these games. So first game up, we got the Magic and we have let me just get the comment down real quick. We got the Magic and we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. So injury report, not a lot in this one. Markelle Fultz is still listed out. Wendell Carter Jr. is also listed out. Not anybody outside of Karis LeVert for the Cleveland Cavaliers that isn't already always on the injury report. So Orlando, right before the break, they got embarrassed on Saturday in Brooklyn. Although it was the second leg of a back-to-back and a third game in 4 nights. They got smashed in that spot. We know Mikal Bridges came out, gave him like 26 points in the first quarter. I think they probably want to bounce back in a big way. They are 9-1 straight up, 8-2 against the number last 10 games. You look at Cleveland, they beat Detroit on Saturday. They're 4-0 to the under in their last 4 games. Head-to-head, 7-3 to the under in these last 10 matchups between these teams. Cleveland has won the last 4 matchups and covered 3 of the 4 numbers, with one of them being a push. Neither teams play again until Friday. Of course, everybody's off tomorrow for the in-season tournament. Both of these teams are about top 10 in pace right now, which is kind of keeping me off the under. But I do like the under in this spot. Cavs, top 10 defensively last 5 games, but bottom 10 offensively, bottom 5 at shooting the 3. Last 5 games, they're 6-1 to the under as a home favorite this season, holding opponents to about 43% shooting, 34% from the 3-point line. You look at this Magic team, they're top 10 offensively, but I think that they probably slide offensively because they've been playing against some pretty bad defensive teams. We know that they had the Wizards back-to-back games last week and some other fast-paced teams. So to me, I think this total, I actually lean, when I was capping this yesterday, I actually leaned towards the under 222.5. Didn't play it. Total's been going, absolutely the wrong way for me, so I'm probably going to stay off of this one as well. But I do lean towards the under, especially with the number coming up from the 222.5. Also lean towards the Magic in this spot. Yesterday, this number was 5. You just look at the Cavs, they're not, really covering as a home favorite. And the Magic, this is their road. They're 6-2 against the number on the road. So lean the under. Also lean the Magic plus the points. We know that the Magic on the road specifically, even at home as well, they've been covering in the first half. So I know Prolific said, first half, that's been the number that's been a cash cow for them the last few weeks outside of that last game against against the Brooklyn Nets the other day. So I do lean, Magic in the first half. Like I said, I do lean towards the under as well. I think the Magic, keep this game close with their defense. And then at the dogs, I think that's when you see them play a little bit more defense. So those are my thoughts on this game. Real quick, I'll go to the comment section, but I'm going to try to be brief, like real quick, get in and out of some of these games. What's up, Hude? Appreciate you for tapping in as always, my brother. Bo says NBA got what they want, LA or New York team in Vegas after the Knicks land a major egg. Lakers were locked to advance. Okay. Chris God says, been ice cold myself lately. Let's get it back today. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Young Harlow. Yes, sir. How's it going, bro? Let's get a win. Yeah, we need a lot of wins. I need a lot of wins. I need all my money back from the sports book. Fo says Pelicans are going to destroy the Lakers. Ingram will nuke his props against the Lakers too. We'll see how that goes. The Last Stone says, how do you cap large slates like this? Do you stay up late the night before? Absolutely, Last Stone. I started looking at these games yesterday at like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock yesterday, like 3:15. DraftKings always drops the lines the earliest. So, I kind of cap the games before the numbers come out, look at the spots, see who's on the injury report, that type of stuff. And then, if it's a line that I think is going to move, I typically play it. If not, I double check, triple check, check back at night, that type of thing. So like this morning, first thing I did when I woke up was look at the lines for tomorrow's in-season tournament games. And I'm going to give you guys my in-season tournament plays. No, I'm going to get I'm going to get a YouTube members, my YouTube. I got 2 plays for tomorrow already. I haven't locked them in, but I will at the end of this slate because I already capped the games for tomorrow as well too. Tariq says, what's good, Chris? He says, yeah, what's good, Chris? As I mentioned yesterday, I recouped with favorites yesterday. Let's get it. I'm glad you cashed, man. Glad you cashed. Tariq says Orlando is a public bet. I think the Cavs are live here. They could be. I don't have a strong feel on it, but I do lean Orlando as well. I think that they can keep it done. Raven Run says Magic outright. He sees them winning the game tonight. Okay. I think the Magic really struggle against guards. So maybe looking at Garland in this spot tonight. I can see Garland having a big game. Yeah, I could definitely see Garland having a big game. Really just depends on how, the pace. Jay Frizzle says, I don't believe that. You think the NBA wanted the Heat versus the Nuggets? Those are my thoughts, Jay Frizzle. I know everybody is a conspiracy theorist that the NBA wants this, the NBA wants that. I don't believe in none of that. I think the best teams win most of the time, like 95%. So the other 5%, I don't really pay too much attention to. I'm with you. I don't think that they wanted the Heat to win. Also think it's narratives and everything, right? Like, so if Boston won, okay, cool. Now they're talking about, potential finals matchup. But if Boston lose, you just say, oh, yeah, look at this up and coming hungry Pacers team. This is playoff environment, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Chase says, Chris, you like Garland Downs? I would lean towards Garland to go over his assist prop today. I don't even know what the number is, but if the Orlando Magic will continue to play with that pace, it's going to present a lot of opportunities for Garland to be able to go over his assist number. Jobin says that Nuggets number looks suspicious. I would agree there. Brandon says, what's a good site to use for your injury news? I mainly use RotoWire. I use RotoWire, and I always got Underdog NBA alert set as well, Brandon. Those are the only 2 things I use for injury news. I will sometimes go to the beat reporter list that I have on my Twitter page if you guys are interested in that. So you can get the notifications, kind of like Underdog, but sometimes it's a little more in depth if you go to the actual team when I'm capping an actual game and I want to know a little bit more than what Underdog gonna say. Damian says Clippers big bounce back spot here, letting the Nuggets losing to the Nuggets short-handed last week. We'll see how that goes. Corey says, am I crazy for liking the Pistons money line? I love when favorites end up as dogs, public all over a bad Memphis team. We're gonna actually get to that in a second, Corey. All right, cool. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. All right, let's keep going. So next up, that's the game you just talked about. This game is the Grizzlies and the Pistons. So the most interesting thing here to note is, for me anyway, is that a couple different things. First and foremost, this Memphis team is when this line came out yesterday at 1, I wanted to smash Memphis. I was like, and the way I'm thinking about it, not even looking at the numbers, not putting numbers to it, I'm just like, Memphis is not going to want to beat a team that let Detroit beat them for the first time this season. And I went through and looked at the Memphis recent games. So for people who don't know, Memphis did just have a team meeting, like a team meeting / hardest practice that a lot of the guys talked about they ever had in their entire life. Like Derrick Rose, I think came out and said that. This was 3 games ago when they were hadn't won a home game. I think they were 0-8 straight up at home. They ended up beating Memphis they ended up beating Utah by like 14. I think it was 105-91. Then they went on the road. They beat Denver. I'm sorry, they beat Dallas. That was the game that Luka didn't play in, and Kyrie, I think, rolled his ankle in that game. They beat them straight up. Then on the second leg of a back-to-back, they actually covered against Phoenix as well. Phoenix was not on the second leg of a back-to-back. I went in and kind of looked at the numbers. So Memphis, they since that team meeting, they've actually held the Jazz to 91 points, the Mavs to 94 points, and the Phoenix on the second leg of a back-to-back to 116, which is pretty impressive because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant played in that game. They've been the best defensive team over the last 3 games. They've been better rebounding team. They've been this is their third straight. What did I write? This is their third straight and last game of a 3-game road trip before they host Minnesota on Friday. I look at Detroit, they're bottom 10 defensively last 10 games. They do get Bogdanovich back. That's the one hesitation for me. Bogdanovich is elite. So instead of playing, Memphis on the money line, which I really wanted to do, like I really don't think that Memphis is about to come out here. I've seen Memphis scrap and claw, like even against the Clippers. And I know that this team is shorthanded. That's the only reason the spread is so small. But I can't trust the Pistons, especially on the money line. Like you literally just need them to cover the game. So the way I decided to play this game instead was I played Desmond Bane. I just think he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Back-to-back games, he's kind of crushed this number versus much harder defenses in Phoenix, in Dallas. 27 points and 5 assists and 30 points and 5 assists. Like I said, since they had that team meeting, he's really kind of picked it up a lot. And I don't see a reason that Desmond Bane, like I said, I just think that he's going to have the ball in his hands. He's not going to be the guy that's going to let this team, lose. He's going to do everything in his power. You kind of feel embarrassed when you let the team that hasn't won a game in 16 games, 17 games, finally get their win against you. So I think Desmond Bane's too prideful for that. I like Desmond Bane over his 30.5 points plus assists. Also, I played Bogdanovich for Detroit. This is his second game back. His threes are plus money. I don't know when the line dropped because when I was looking for, I actually put this in my notes section because I was looking at Detroit the other day and I said, who do they play next? The Grizzlies are one of the worst defensive. They are the worst defensive team against the 3 this season. In the last 3 games, they have improved. They're like middle of the pack, only allowing teams to shoot about 33%, 35%, something like that. But Bogdanovich shot 10 threes the other day. He hit 3 or 4. So I think he's going to get the looks tonight. Couldn't talk anybody off his points prop to go over. I couldn't even talk you off laddering Bogdanovich threes because the way Memphis is playing defense right now, they're giving up a ton of threes. So I played Bogdanovich over his 2.5 threes at plus money on, I think it's FanDuel, like plus 106. And I played Desmond Bane over his 30.5 points plus assists. Those are my favorite 2 looks. That is what I decided to do instead of playing the Grizzlies money line. I might still get there with the Grizzlies if I can catch them live. We'll see. How the game starts off because I do think that they're going to be better. And I remember I said this not too long ago. I said when Detroit gets their shooters back because they really struggle to shoot the ball outside of Sasser. If Cade Cunningham's not having a good game, Isaiah Livers can hit a 3 every now and then, but they're not a consistent 3-point shooting team. Bottom 5 3-point shooting team. Now you get Bogdanovich back. You get a couple of games under Bogdanovich. He gets a couple games under his belt. Joe Harris will be back soon. These are elite 3-point shooters, not average. These are elite 3-point shooters, and it's really going to stretch the floor. You'll see Cade be able to play a lot more one-on-one. Defenses won't be able to sag as much. So I'm gonna ride with those 2. If you guys want to ride with me, Desmond Bane over 30.5 points and assists, and Bogdanovich over his 2.5 3-point makes at plus 106 on FanDuel, I want to say. So those are my thoughts. Coop says Pistons need that hardest practice ever to get off this losing streak. That's true, man. I do think that it's going to end soon, but I don't know. This is a favorable opponent, but I don't know. I can't take Detroit. I just can't do it. What's up to my guy Akbar? Tariq says he took Bogdanovich over 17.5 points. Solo says, what's good, fam? A morning show would be fire. I appreciate that love, Solo. I will keep you guys posted. I just got a lot of stuff going on right now. I really want to get my thoughts out earlier to you guys and, maybe record even the night before sometimes because I'm capping these games the night before. But we'll see. It's definitely coming though. You just wait for it. People know that last year I was doing cashed it with Chris show 7 a.m. in the morning. It kind of got funky just because of the injury report manipulation. Then the lines would change, and yeah, so that's why I cut it out. But if we can, just to kind of give you guys my thought, I might not even make a bet, or maybe it'll be a bet, right? But just to kind of give you guys information of how I'm kind of looking at the game the night before, give you guys something to maybe listen to on your commute to work or whatever the case might be. We'll see. It'll be a couple days a week, but not every single day. David says, "Happy Wednesday, Chris. Crazy week. Let's cash. Smash the like button too, y'all. Yeah, if you guys enjoy the show, if it's helpful, if you're cashing plays from myself or anybody in the chat, definitely hit the like button for me. It helps with the algorithm, helps get more people watching the show, and I would absolutely appreciate that. That's all I ask for. Hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and retweet all that good stuff if you can." McLean says, "Unpopular, but I'm on the Grizzlies, man. Yeah, I like the Grizzlies too. I won't beat a dead horse, but I like the Grizzlies in this spot. I don't know. Something tells me with Bogdanovich being back, it could be a difficult game for them. But they are, like I said, the best defensive team. So maybe you just need to look for a team total under for Detroit. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I can't lay my bread on Detroit either. I'm right there with you. J. Core says, "Sheesh, morning shows before work." Yeah, if I did a morning show, it'd probably be like 6 a.m. I'll probably record the night before and just have it out. I wake up super early in the morning too. Will Jackson says, "What up, though, Chris? On D Rose over 11.5 for me. We still got a lot of love for him here. We can't stop guards, and I don't see a blowout. Wouldn't be surprised if we were cheering for him all game." Okay, so we got some Detroit love on Will is definitely from Detroit. He said, "What up, though?" So I know Will is on Derrick Rose. Best of luck to you tonight, Will. David says, "Chris, listen to me. You lead, we will follow. You're not profitable by mistake, do you?" Thanks. I appreciate that, David. Definitely appreciate that. Joe Smith says, "Build the Jalen Duren double on ESPN bet at -115. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off, man. Jared Jackson Jr. scares the hell out of me. He just had a game where he had 2 games ago against Dallas. He had more fouls than points, and then he has a 37-point game against Phoenix. So Jekyll and Hyde type player. I can't put my money on a guy like him. Reminds me a lot of Anthony Davis. Let's go to the next game. We got Philly. We got Washington. This game is going to be in DC. This line actually opened yesterday at 8.5 when I wrote the number down. Washington was catching 8.5 at home. The total was 237.5. This total now is all the way up. And injury report wise, Jordan Poole is listed as a game time decision. I didn't see an update on Jordan Poole. Y'all drop it in the chat if y'all seen an update on Jordan Poole. I saw the beat writers tweet yesterday that it was an ankle injury and that he was probably going to try to test it out before game time. But I didn't see any updates. So let me know. I haven't been able to keep up with the injury report as much as I typically do. I also see DeAnthony Milton listed as game time decision but likely to play for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers also get back, and I got to speed up because I'm moving really slow. The Sixers also get back, what's his name? Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre will make his return after, the whole rib injury, hit by a car scandal, whatever we want to call that thing. He will be back for this game in DC tonight. So the spread in this one has ballooned to 10. I think maybe I think I saw touch 10.5 as well, but 10 looks like it's the consensus number right now. Oh, actually 11. Circa actually got it at 11 right now. Total still continuing to trickle up, 240.5. So the way I'll just be quick with this. Embiid owns this team. If go look at the numbers if you guys haven't already. Daniel Gafford is let's just say, good luck to him tonight. And we just send some thoughts and prayers out to Daniel Gafford as he has to deal with Joel Embiid. The Sixers are off 2 straight losses. We know Joel Embiid is extremely well rested in this spot because he didn't play in those last 2 games against Boston in which they lost. And he didn't play in the game against New Orleans. That was the game he was ruled out at the last second with an illness. So you get a super healthy Embiid. He's going to be, I think, in his bag tonight. I didn't play him. But the way I chose to play this game was I just played the team total. We just think back to last week, right? This Wizards defense didn't get any better over the night, over the weekend, just because they had a couple days off. I think Philly runs this team off the floor tonight. You look at the a couple things I looked at. Sixers 3-0 to the over when the total is 235 or higher this season. They've actually went over their team total in each one of those spots, and they average what did I write right there? I'm not sure what I wrote in this spot. Anyway, continuing on. Looking at the Wizards, this team is 9-3 to the over when the total was set at 235 or higher. So what that tells me is that when they're in these high total games, they're giving up points. They're scoring points as well. So another way, I just taking a deeper dive into that angle specifically, I looked at the Wizards when the total was 235 or higher versus a team that has a 55% win percentage or better, because the Wizards have been playing in some games against like the Charlotte Hornets, teams that don't necessarily play that well. In games where the total is 235 or higher and the opponent has pretty much a winning win percentage, they're 5-0 to the over. The Wizards are allowing 134 points per game and have allowed each of their opponents to score at least 130 points in that spot. So real quick, I'll say that again. The Wizards, when the total is 235 or higher, they're playing a team that has a 55% win percentage or higher. They're 5-0 to the over, allowing 134 points in that spot, and have allowed each of their opponents to score at least 130 points. I see no reason why Philly doesn't get out and score 130 points in this spot as well. Total 124.5 is a high number. I understand that, but I played it at Bet365, 124.5. I think Philly runs this team off the floor. I think they also keep in mind, we just saw Orlando score 140 points a couple times against this team. I think Philly is going to play with that same pace. I think Philly has a better offense than Orlando. So that's the way I chose to play this one. Couldn't talk anybody off looking at maxi props. So those are my thoughts in this game. I'm going to go back to the chat real quick, and then we'll keep going. Killer All-Star, he says, who do you like for the Sixers Wizards? If I had to play a player prop, it would be Joel Embiid points. Joel Embiid can have 35 points in this game and not even play in the fourth quarter. It really could be that bad. But because of the blowout factor, I'm not going to focus on a player specifically. I'm just going to play the team total because no matter who's in there, I think they all contribute and they score 130 points in this spot. That's how I'm looking at the game, Killer All-Star. Otto says, what's up, Chris? Appreciate what you do today. Appreciate what you do. But today I got Jabari Smith, points, rebounds, and assists, or maybe in his points and rebounds. He's going against Chet in OKC. This is a motivation spot for me since they picked Chet over him. Okay, I love the narrative. Love the narrative. Could not talk you off at all. He says has had a good game against them, and he plays at home today. Okay. Corey Cook says Embiid 11.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings is very telling. Any thoughts? I think that's 11.5 rebounds. I mean, we know that Wizards are one of the worst rebounding teams. I just worry about the blowout factor. I think Maxey could come down there and steal some of those rebounds. He's been rebounding the ball pretty well. Oh, this is a first quarter Embiid got. And they got Embiid listed at 12 points in the first quarter. That is pretty telling. I'm not even sure what his first number is, but 12 points in the first quarter is a lot. That's a whole lot of points. He is playing majority of the first quarter, so the books probably got a cap. But you see it at minus 125, so that should let you know all you need to know, like you said, Corey. Let's keep going. So next game up, we got the Nets. We have the Hawks. This is a pretty interesting game, just from the simple fact that these two teams, literally just played. The total in this one. So the Hawks are laying 3.5 at the crib. Not a spot that I'm interested in taking the Hawks in at all. This team has been pretty bad at home. Just 1-7 against the number. 2-8 their last 10 games against the spread. You look at Brooklyn, total opposite. 7-3 last 10, 5-2 on the road. They've been playing just much better basketball, even though Atlanta, I think, did win the last matchup, right? Atlanta did win. Atlanta won 147 to 145. These teams played on November 22nd. Brooklyn was catching 3.5 points in that spot. Did not cover the number because they ended up losing by 2. Let's see something real quick. So Brooklyn plays Washington, no look ahead spot on Friday. Atlanta, coming off the loss to the Bucks, gave up 135 in that, 132 in that spot. Gave up 135 to the San Antonio Spurs, 128 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I see no reason to continue fading this team. I think Brooklyn is Brooklyn is the better defensive team. I don't think that we can argue that. Atlanta also has pretty big matchup where they have to go on the road to Philly on Friday as well. So not a good spot for Atlanta. I didn't play Brooklyn, but that's the only way I would look in this game. The way I did chose to play this game, though, was I bet Cam Thomas. So player prop wise, Cam Thomas points. I I should have sent this out earlier, but I didn't. I sent it out right before the show. So Cam Thomas points was actually 19.5 on ESPN bet at -115. I was trying to put the bet in earlier, and I kept getting the unknown error. I'm not sure if anybody else got that message earlier, and I'm not sure why. I tried to change the bet amount, all of that. I just couldn't put the bet in. Everybody else had them at like 20 and 21.5. Even that number was juiced. So definitely always shop around, man, because you can get some really good lines. But the reason why I like Cam Thomas, so I ended up playing him at 20.5 officially. He's had 20 in 4 of his last 5 games, but more so than that, the shot volume is there. He's taken at least 20 shots in 4 of the last 5 games, and now I don't know if people knew this, but Lonnie Walker's actually out for at least a couple weeks, is what the injury report said, because he had a hamstring injury, so he's gonna miss time. That's even more shots, I feel like, for Cam Thomas in this spot. We know the Hawks, they really struggled defensively throughout the entirety of the season. In 4 career games against Atlanta, he's only played more than 25 minutes in 1 of them, and he scored 22 points in that spot. Atlanta also top 5 in pace, so not only are they a bad defense, but they also play really fast. To me, that just means Cam Thomas season. I love Cam Thomas in this spot. I haven't laddered him yet, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I probably will take him at 25. Probably going to sprinkle on the 30 as well. I think it's a big game for Cam Thomas tonight. And the total is only going up. When I wrote this total down yesterday, the line was Atlanta -4.5. The total was 238.5. You see this total now all the way up to 243 points. So it's up 5 points. That's the only way I'll be able to play this one. Couldn't talk anybody off looking at Trae Young double-double. Couldn't talk anybody off, looking at DeJounte Murray. Maybe it's even Mikal Bridges. I'm pretty sure, Brooklyn probably wants to get that bad taste out of their mouth, because they just went to Atlanta and lost by 2 in a game that they probably should have won. So that's what I got there. Navi says Embiid 35 plus at 120 on FanDuel, but yeah, it could be a blowout. Maybe you just go lighter on it. We'll see. Brandon says he likes Mikal Bridges over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Couldn't talk you off of that one. It's hard to bet an under against an Atlanta team that plays no defense pretty much against any position, honestly. Bond says Cam Thomas over 19.5 points for me, and first quarter over 60. Both have been putting up points in the last 5 games, and it's the Hawks. That's a simple cap there, Vaughn. Could not talk you off. Coop says, yes, sir. I'm on Cam too. Hopefully Cam's not too public today, man. I feel like I'm gonna have to start going contrarian and start doing my deep diving into some of these props and getting back to my unders if these these good spots don't start to cash, because that's what I've been on recently, and might have to do my deep digging for some of these games. I'm not even gonna butcher your name. He says during double PPD, Pistons drought ends tonight, so he likes Detroit in the bounce in the first win in quite a long time. Hude says I keep getting a game has already been played message earlier from FanDuel. Yeah, some of these apps be tripping lately, man. Best of luck. I hope you figure that out, Hude. Navi says Cam Thomas points and Claxton 2 blocks for me in this game. I could not talk you off at all, Navi. Could definitely see it. Cam Thomas is modern day microwave Vinny Johnson. Silly that he doesn't start. Yeah, I like him better not starting those 77 figures. I'm happy when he's not starting, because you throw a bench guy in with the starters. Sometimes they can throw off their confidence. Can make them second fiddle. They got a bunch of scoring in their starting lineup, so I like him coming off the bench, giving Mikal Bridges a rest, giving Cam Johnson a rest as well. So yeah. David says Christmas season. We know how the books are. Time to deep dive. I agree. Mayne says when the 10K challenge coming back? We'll figure it out, Mayne. Probably after the in-season tournament is what I'm looking at. It's too much going on right now. It's too much volatility right now as well. We'll see. Corey Cook says Dinwiddie usage has been up. Might be worth a look. I would agree there. Spencer Dinwiddie is typically a guy I like to fade, but he has had the usage for sure. So we'll see. We got 5 more games left, so let's keep going. Next game up, we got the Spurs and the Timberwolves. This line actually opened at the Timberwolves laying 11.5 yesterday. The spread is now 12.5. So Victor Wembanyama did miss the last couple games before, or at least the last game against the New Orleans Pelicans, in the spot that we tried to fade the Spurs defense, and the Pelicans couldn't even go over their team total. Vividly remember that. I think that was on Friday night. So Wemby is expected to play. I think Anthony Edwards, he did practice yesterday. He practiced today as well. Well, he went through shoot around today as well. He should be making his return in this game. Timberwolves do have a road trip coming up, but this team has been absolute money at the crib against the number. Defensively, we know that they're one of the better teams in the league. And you look at the San Antonio team, even though they typically, they're also on a 10-game losing streak, or at least a 10-game losing streak. They're only 3-7 in their last 10 games, only 3-6 on the road. The Timberwolves on the opposite side, 8-2 against the number, 9-1 straight up at the crib. I think 12.5 might be a tad bit too much, but it really wouldn't surprise me. Like in the last game, we saw the Pelicans, laying how many points was that? They were laying 12.5. They ended up winning that game by 15. So, I was thinking team total over, which didn't cash, but they couldn't score in that spot. They only scored 106 points. And, against these really elite defensive teams, they haven't really been able to score. Getting Wemby back, off a couple days rest, I think they struggle to score in this spot as well. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick, I had pulled up, and I think it goes with this game here. So one of the things I looked at was dating back to, let's just go 2021, so the last couple seasons. When you have 2 days, when you have a team with, let me see if I can do 3 real quick. When you have a team with, 2 days actually don't work as well. 3 days don't work as well. When you have a team with 3 days of rest or more, with 2 days of rest or more, both teams have 2 days rest or more. Those games typically are a little bit more defensive. 106 and 94 to the under, 5 pushes. That's 47%, 53% to the under. Typically, you see better defense in that spot, and I think that's what we see from the Timberwolves here. So the way I chose to play this game was Spurs team total under 108.5. You can get that on BetMGM at plus 100. A couple things I looked at. Spurs, they're only giving up 107 points. The Spurs are only averaging 107 points on the road as a dog this season, which is under the 108.5. The Timberwolves are the third best defensive rated team over the last 5 games. I think getting Anthony Edwards back just helps even more. Also looking at the Timberwolves, their top 10 rebounding team. San Antonio, 7th worst offensive rated team over the last 5 games. They're really not able to score. And now you're thinking about them playing against the Minnesota team that's only allowed 1 of their 8 opponents to go over their team total. And that actually was the Boston Celtics in a game that went to overtime. So looking at the Timberwolves, they've held every opponent under their team total outside of the Boston Celtics. So I think that this, I initially wanted to play the under, but I think, maybe the Timberwolves do score in this spot. So it kept me off the full game under. I did play the San Antonio Spurs under their 108.5 team total at plus 100 on BetMGM. Also, another look in this game. I didn't play this one yet. Just don't really like the juice too much, but strong lean. I might get there. And I was looking at Mike Conley over his 6.5 assists. Conley's went over. He's had 7 assists or more in 6 straight games. He's getting at least 30 minutes in he's averaging at least 30 minutes in those games as well. I know Anthony Edwards comes back tonight, but I still look for him to have, pretty big playmaking duties. He gets a fast-paced team. San Antonio ranks top 5 in pace. In the first matchup, he only had 6 assists because these 2 teams did just play. But San Antonio does give up the 3rd most assists to point guards on the season. So I do expect, Mike Conley to have a big game here, being able to dime to Rudy Gobert, throw some oops maybe, finding his shooters. We know San Antonio is one of the worst 3-point shooting 3-point defenses as well. So if Mike Conley's going to get 11 potential assists, I think that he can cash the 7, and I think he was averaging right at 11 potential assists. I think the number was like 10.8. So I think he can convert 7 of those for assists. This number was minus 120 on ESPN Bet. Strong lean, but I did not go official with that one. Going back to the chat real quick, let's see what we got here. Corey likes the Spurs team total under 4 unit. Could not talk him off. Daniel says Wolves have only covered one of their top 5 highest total games. They've only covered -7 in the first half twice in the last 12 games. Spurs have scored 30 plus in 4 straight first quarters. I like the Spurs first quarter +4 and on the money line. Woo-hoo, that's spicy. That's spicy, gang. I do think looking at the Spurs, they are a first half team. Like I can't it's just a mind play because I know I see it all the time. But let me see if I can quantify it for you guys real quick. Just going to first, let's look at them for the full season real quick and see what their offensive rating is for the first half versus the second half. This is something that I just kind of keep in my head. So offensively, the Spurs in the first half are they're not good. They're 23rd offensively. That's not good. Maybe their defense is better. San Antonio is they're not good defensively either. Well, they're 15th defensively, so middle of the pack. Their net rating for the first half is that's not good either. It's 24th. So maybe let's check the last 5 game stats real quick. I'm just interested to see if it gets better over the last few games. So last 5 games, San Antonio is 23rd offensively, and defense actually is even worse. They are 16th. I know in the second half it gets a lot worse, though. I think they've been able to cover some of these first half numbers. So looking at the San Antonio Spurs from a full season perspective in the second half specifically, I know that they're super bad. Second worst offensive rating at 105.9. Defensive rating is the second worst in the league, 124. And they're minus 18.4. I knew it was something. So San Antonio gets smashed. Like to put that in perspective, the second worst net rating for the second half is the Washington Wizards, who are absolutely trash, and we all know that. But they're minus 9.8. You look at the San Antonio Spurs, they are minus 18.4. So they're super bad, and their pace slows down. So yeah, what I would say is that the Timberwolves aren't covering live. If the Timberwolves haven't covered the first half spread, which should be like 5.5, 6.5, you probably want to take them in the third quarter because that's when they'll probably turn up, and you'll see San Antonio start to regress. So that's the way I would play this one. Like I said, only official play was I played San Antonio team total to go under. It also makes sense that San Antonio's second half team total to go under. That number probably has been adjusted by the books already. So those are my thoughts there. Appreciate you for shouting it out there. You're making me dive a little bit deeper there. Shout out to Tegan D. Navi says Kelly Oubre off the bench tonight for the Sixers. Yeah, he'll be back. Vaughn says Spurs team total under. He likes 27 for the third quarter. Wolves best defensive rated team in the third quarter all season. They only allowed 24.4 in the season. They're 12-6-1 to the 12-6-1 teams under the number, 7-2-1 under at home. So those are some good numbers to back that third quarter under, Vaughn, and it makes sense. That's kind of what I talked about as well. Maybe you even take the spread. Vaughn also says Spurs one of the worst third quarter teams. 1-6 last 7 under the number, 13-6 on the season, 7-2 to the under on the road, 6-0 last 6 on the road. Spurs team total under 109. Worth a look too. Yeah, we got some alignment there. Shout out to Michael, just joined as a member. Appreciate you, man, for tapping in. For people who don't know, like I said, membership is posted in the YouTube YouTube description, and it's also on my link tree on Twitter. $5.99 a month and get you all my plays as soon as I make them. And like I said, I got some plays for tomorrow as well. Fear Lee says, what site are you using to see first half rankings and stuff? This is NBA.com advanced stats. This is pretty simple to use. You can go in, bunch of different filters, game situation, date range, players, teams, all that good stuff. So yeah, everything is there for that specifically when I'm looking at that. Appreciate you, Arthur. I know you said thanks for the info, but I appreciate you for being here and just tapping in and getting the information. Hopefully it helps. Jay Smith likes the Spurs plus 14.5. 14.5 is a big number. I wouldn't be laying that with the Timberwolves tonight. So I'll probably be right there with you. Even I'll probably bet that with my eyes closed, at least one eye open. All right, let's move on. Heat and the Raptors is the next game that we have on board. This game is pretty interesting to me as well, just because I've said it before. I don't really like fading the Heat, when they're shorthanded. I feel like the line always – kind of goes against them. And then these are the lines that they typically end up covering. Real quick injury report: Bam Adebayo is listed as out for this game. Tyler Hero also remains out. Looks like Toronto will have a full roster, full roster here. Schroeder, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl. I don't have the strongest feel for this game. My first thought was over. I think both of these teams will probably try to get out and run. The total did go up. It opened at 217. When I capped it yesterday, it's up to 220 now. Like I said, anytime you kind of underestimate Miami's offense is when they typically score the most points. Head-to-head, they typically do go under, though. Like, I'm looking at the 2 of the last 3 matchups. The total's been 218 or lower, and 2 of them have gone under. The one that went over only went over by 1 point. Miami plays this team pretty well. Toronto has only covered 3 of the last 10 spreads in the head-to-head matchup. Heat coming off a loss against the Indiana Pacers, of course. They lost that game by 15, even though Tyrese Haliburton didn't play. And the Heat also have a home game. They'll be getting back home to play against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday. Toronto, on the other side, lost against the Knicks the other day. Knicks won the second leg of a back-to-back. That's kind of how I expected them to play. I wasn't on anything official in that game. But I still don't have a strong feel for Toronto. They play well, they play bad. They play well, they play bad. And that is kind of reminiscent. Even if they can put 2 games together, they typically can't put together 3 games. So could they bounce back in this spot? Absolutely. This is the last game of a 3-game homestand before they travel to Charlotte to take on the Hornets on Friday. So I don't really have a strong feel in this game. Just kind of wanted to give you guys the notes. I didn't play anything in this game at all, so I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to keep it moving. If you guys got best bets in this game or something that you love, just let me know, man. Let me know. Dream says, hit the like game. Appreciate you for being here, Dream. My God. Hopefully you're in the spaces so you can share some looks in a couple minutes as well. Jay Smith says that Raptors bench is horrible. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. Last time I tried to fade the Raptors, they beat the Suns. So I'm not sure what to do with the Raptors. Like I said, that's kind of one of the reasons why I stayed off that game. Let's keep going. Next game up, we got the Hornets and the Bulls. This line actually opened at 4.5 for the Chicago Bulls in favor of the home team, the Chicago Bulls, who've actually been playing a little bit better recently. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks the other day. They beat the Pelicans in what I think was a sleepy spot. The Pelicans were on the second leg of a back-to-back. I think the Pelicans didn't care about that game at all, of course. It was a non-conference game on the second leg of a back-to-back. They rested C.J. McCollum. They rested Trey Murphy in that spot as well. Now Chicago, I don't know if I'm ready to lay points with them, but they are laying 4.5 at the crib off two straight wins. Of course, Zach LaVine is out for I think at least another week. They got DeMar DeRozan back. Kobe White's been absolutely balling. I know my guy Munaf is on his points over 19.5. He stepped up a lot. He's got the most usage and the most volume without Zach LaVine being there. He shot the ball well. He's also assisted the ball well. Looking like he's trying to be the point guard of the future there. Alex Caruso is listed as game time decision in this spot. I see him as likely to play. And on the opposite side, I see Mark Williams as a toss-up to play. So I don't really have the super strongest feel in this game. What I wrote down in my notes yesterday without even taking too long to cap this game specifically, because I knew I didn't, just really didn't love anything in this spot, was I wrote down the over. Total opened at 219.5 yesterday. This total is up to 220 now. And to me, it's pretty simple. I think Chicago's offenses look better without Zach LaVine. I'm not sure if they're just moving the ball more or whatever the case might be. I know that it's gross to think about taking it over with Chicago because their offense is not good. Charlotte offense not good either, but both of these teams are bottom 5 defensively. And what I wrote in my notes is Chicago should be able to score because Charlotte's defense is really, really bad. They're like a top 5 worst defense in the league. But on the opposite side, Chicago's defense has actually been pretty bad as well. So Charlotte's going to play with pace even without LaMelo being there. Chicago should want to play a little bit faster and, could get kind of caught up in the track meet. So I do lean over. Wouldn't touch this side at all, with a 10-foot pole. Charlotte has, surprisingly been 4-4 against the spread on the road. And it really wouldn't surprise me if they could keep this one close. I'm not, laying 4.5 points, 5 points with a team that's 7-14 and only 5-6-1 against the number at home. So those are my thoughts there. I didn't play anything in this game at all, but best of luck if you guys got action. Corey Cook says OG over his 19. OG. Hold on. OG Anunoby, points, rebounds, and assists only 19 and a half. That number is super low. Okay. Brandon says Kobe White over his points and assists. I could not talk you off. Like I said, my guy Munaf is on his points today. Like the look there. Troy likes Duncan Robinson over 13 and a half tonight against the Toronto Raptors. Solo says Bulls look 100% better without LaVine. Yeah, they do. We might have seen Zach LaVine in this last game with the Chicago Bulls jersey on, but it's gonna be hard to somebody to pick up that $50 million that they owe. Like, don't nobody like want to invest in Zach LaVine at this age. Not with how much you got to pay him. Like, that's a huge commitment, and you need to see immediate success if you do that. Daniel says 5 straight over for the Bulls, 5 of their last 7 over for the Hornets. Hornets 1-9 on the money line, 2-8 against the spread, 7-3 over when the total is under 228. Hornets have only held teams to 113 3 times. Bulls team total over 112 for me. That's a nice breakdown, Daniel. I cannot talk you off, man. Could not talk you off at all. Navi says Kobe White threes might be a good look. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Just so you guys know, I was watching the post. I watched that game against the Timberwolves that the Charlotte Hornets played the other day. I think this was on Saturday. Yes, it was on Saturday. I watched the post-game interview, and Steve Clifford, the head coach for the Charlotte Hornets, was just so, you could just see the frustration in his face, giving up 120 plus points in a home game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who don't even score that much, and they didn't even have Anthony Edwards. So it seems like that message just goes on one end, goes out the other to his team. I'm not sure they're going to play defense in this spot either. I just don't think that they have a bunch of willing, capable defenders. Like, maybe you try hard and you just can't do it, you know? So I do lean towards the over, like I said, in this spot. I think both teams can score. I'm not a believer in Chicago's defense at all. I just think Chicago's play is really, really slow. So we'll see. Corey also likes Terry Rozier over 2.5 threes. Could not talk you off of that look at all. Chicago is one of the worst three-point shooting defenses in the league. All right, so hold on. What? I still got all these games to go through? I thought I was almost done. All right, let's go Thunder Rockets, and let's speed up a little bit. I don't have the greatest feel for this game either. I'll just be honest with you guys. Not a game that I was really looking to play. OKC has been a moneymaker. They're 13-6 straight up, 7-2 on the road, 7-2 against the number, 8-2 last 10. I was on them in the last game against the Dallas Mavericks when they were laying 3 in that spot, thinking that Kyrie wouldn't play. They got a huge lead. You see Dallas start to double team SGA, and they look like a deer in headlights. I've never seen this happen in my life before. They allowed Dallas to go on a 30-0 run, and they were losing 1 point in the fourth quarter, 33-4. I have never seen that in my life before. Luckily, they were able to reverse that and cover. They ended up winning the game by 6, and we won our bet on -3.5. Houston, this is a really good team at home. 8-1 straight up, 7-1-1 against the number. 7-1-1. Yeah, 7-1-1 against the number. They are 7-2-1 against the spread. This team, to me, has some scheduled losses coming. Just looking at their most recent games, they lost to Dallas in a spot where we had them. We backed them +4.5, and they ended up losing that game by 6 on some late free throws to Luka. They have on the second leg of a back-to-back. They weren't scheduled to win in Denver anyway. They were catching 10.5 in that spot. They actually covered the spread and lost that game by 10. And then, they got smoked by my Lakers 107-1-97 in that spot. They're going to have to score in this spot for me. I just think that, looking at the Thunder, and I actually lean towards the under in this spot. The Thunder have been a really, really solid defensive team. And if I take you to win on the road, I need you to be able to play defense. And their defensive effort has been pretty good on the road specifically. So I do kind of lean towards, the under more so than a side in this one. OKC is 6-4 to the over, but I think that, just the pace that the Rockets play at, I think those games typically go under, especially at home. They're 7-3 to the under are the Houston Rockets, and they typically dictate pace at home. We've seen them have really good home games against the Denver Nuggets. They slowed this Denver Nuggets team down at home, and if you can do that, I think you can pretty much slow anybody down. They held Denver to 107 to 104. They slowed the Pelicans down, held them to 104. I know the Pelicans weren't fully healthy. They went to the Clippers and only allowed 100 points. We got to cover with them against the Lakers on November 19th. The Lakers were laying 6 in that spot. I think we took them +5. They held the Lakers, who was a really, really fast, high-paced offense, So I think this one goes under. 226 just seems like a tad bit too much. Let me see which direction. This is actually probably my favorite total on the board tonight. I'm interested to see where this total is going, especially with these teams being rested. Yeah, it's up to 230. Hold on. Yeah, no real movement. 226.5. I like the under. Maybe I'll get there live, or maybe I'll take something live, but that's the way I kind of lean there. Let's go back to the comment section. Official plays. I'm about to post all of them at the bottom so you can see them, Cincy. Damian likes Giddey under 6.5 rebounds. He says it's a lock. Don't use that word on the show, but best of luck, my brother. Shadow says I like Sengun over his points, rebounds, and assists. He's been very consistent lately. Couldn't talk you off, even though Chet's been a pretty good defender. I think Chet's been a very, very solid defender, a lot better than people have thought of him to be. Thought of him just being an offensive guy, but his defense has actually been pretty good. He's blocking shots, playing with a lot of energy and effort, rebounding the ball, which is something that they needed. Damian likes SGA under 2 turnovers. Couldn't talk you off. And Brandon likes Shea over 35.5 points and assists. Bounce back game. Also, Sengun over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Looking like baby Jokic. Okay. Best of luck. Best of luck to you guys. You got action on this game. Navi says SGA points and assists for me in this game. He's going to have his hands full, but could not talk you off at all. Daniel says live bet Thunder money line at any plus money. If I can get there, we'll see how it goes, man. Like I said, I don't really want to take a side just because Houston has been turning up, and they are off a couple straight losses, in this spot. They've lost 3 games in a row, but all of those games were on the road, and they've been, like I said, they've been winning at home. So we'll see how that one goes. Jazz and the Mavericks, not a game that I'm extremely interested in. I absolutely, I try not to get too emotionally invested in a team, but there's a couple teams that's on the bad list for me right now that I just absolutely can't stand, because those teams are typically the inconsistent teams, the super inconsistent teams. Like I think about players like Julius Randle. Like if Julius Randle just tell me he can go 9 for 9 and have the best game of the season against the Milwaukee Bucks, who have a really good interior defense, I won't bet Jalen Brunson points. So it's just things like that. 41 points for him. Brunson don't have to do as much, even though Brunson could have did a lot more. So those Jekyll and Hyde type players, those Jekyll and Hyde type teams, and for me, that's what the Jazz are. The Jazz are a really, really bad team. Do not get it confused by what they do at home. On the road, that's why Dallas is laying 11.5. At home, for some reason, it's like a magical wand just waves in the air. We see this team beat the Pelicans twice. They just beat the Portland Trailblazers, which I am absolutely 100% positively know that the Portland Trailblazers are better than the Utah Jazz, especially that version of their roster. No Lauri Markkanen, no Jordan Clarkson, 2 best players, and somehow they still found a way to win. That game was a little janky at the end. We were on the under for their team total, and of course the game goes to overtime, so of course we lose that bet. But I think the Jazz get smoked in this spot. I'm not laying the 11.5. Yesterday when I looked at the number, and I still got it written in my notes, it was 8.5. This total was 226.5. This total's come all the way up to 233.5, and I'm pretty sure that's just money on the Dallas Mavericks team total specifically. So maybe Dallas first half. Dallas is off 2 straight losses as well. They lost both of those games last week to the Memphis Grizzlies. That was when Luka didn't play. They lost the next game when Luka came back and Kyrie didn't play. That game was to the who was that game to? That game was to the Oklahoma City Thunder, in a game that we were on the right side in. Dallas hasn't been really covering at home. They're only 5-4 straight up. But Utah, they're only 1-9 against the spread on the road. 1-9 straight up on the road, 3-7 against the number. So I think looking towards Luka assists specifically, it seems like a triple-double type game for Luka here. Over 8.5 assists is what I would play. I didn't quite get there. But plus 105 on DraftKings, the Jazz have allowed the 6th most assists on the season, 4th most assists, which is north of 28 on the road specifically. That's just in totality. They've been one of the top 3 in assists allowed to point guards as well. Luka is coming off an 18 assist game, of course, against the Thunder, but he didn't have Kyrie in that spot. So maybe that number drops a little bit, but 9 assists feels absolutely obtainable against this team. Luka also just had 9 assists against the Houston team that plays at a very slow pace and a much better defense. So I like Luka over his 8.5 assists. Didn't bet it yet because I don't want to go too crazy, but that would be my favorite play in this game. two more games to get to real quick, and I need a sip of water. Let's go back to the comments section. Let's see. Navi says live bet Jalen Green last game was a cash for me. Yeah. Jalen Green's been he's been hooping. He's been coming up just a tad bit after that Dallas game. After that Denver game. 77 figures says Knicks on the ban list. I don't like to put people. I don't like the quote unquote ban list, but I won't be betting on the Knicks anytime soon. I'll tell you that. Don't worry about that one. Jay Smith says I like under on Dallas and Jazz. Maybe you just look at the Jazz team total to go under, Jay Smith. I couldn't talk you off of that look at all. The number did come up, and I don't trust the Jazz to be able to contribute. So the total is what, 230? We'll just make it 234. Half of that is what, 117, and you're adding 6 points to one side, so that's about 123 to 113, 110. I think the Jazz struggle to get there. So something around that number. It should be what the Jazz team total is. 110, 111. I think they struggle to get there as well. Could not talk you off. Especially on the road. They really struggle on the road. Damian says Dylan might guard SGA. If he does, best of luck to him. He still can't stop him. Nobody can stop SGA. You can stop him with a double team. You forcing somebody else to beat you like Kendrick Williams. Vaughn says he likes Keontae George number. Like Keontae George, but numbers are a little too high for me. Yeah, I would. Yeah, Dallas has actually been playing a little bit of defense in some of these games. Bean says Keontae George is from Dallas area, just to let y'all know. Okay. Maybe it's a step-up spot. Damian says, I think Clark's still out. Yeah, so I forgot to mention that. That's another reason why I kind of like Dallas in this spot. Jordan Clarkson is out. Of course, Lauri Markkanen is still out as well. I forgot to mention the injury report. Coop says, thoughts on Luka to potentially get his 60th triple-double to pass Larry Bird thing? Absolutely. I kind of mentioned it already, Coop. This game screams Luka 30, 4 threes, 12 assists, 10 rebounds, 11 rebounds. Yeah, the blowout factor just scares me off just a tad bit. But, yeah, big games from Luka today. Should be a big game from Joel Embiid today. Both of those guys could go absolutely crazy, even though both of them are in a blowout, type spot against really bad defenses and offenses that struggle. Corey says the no motivation spot scares me with the Jazz without their best players, but it's Mavericks or nothing. Yeah, I think, sometimes we think about these motivation spots, but when you have back-to-back losses and you've had to sit with those for, like 5, 6 days, 7 days, that doesn't feel good. You can't wait to play basketball again. So I would, that if they were off 2 wins, I would feel less likely to bet Dallas, but I'm not betting them either way. I just think that it is going to be a blowout. Brandon says leaning towards Luka over points, rebounds, and assists, but thinking about the blowout factor, I would be right there with you. That makes it a less stronger play for me as well. Navi says leaning towards Collins rebounds. I did look into that as well. I was looking at Walker Kessler, maybe rebounds plus points. Dallas, even with Derek Lively, are giving up top 5 giving up points to center, and top 5 giving up rebounds to centers as well. So couldn't talk you off looking at John Collins in this spot as well. Damian says, I'm scared of my Embiid and Maxey picks with Kelly back. Definitely blowout potential. I hope they do blow him out. I hope they score 140 points tonight. Hendry says there's a video of Luka having the same animation as Porter Jr. Jump shot. Bro's going to average 50 and no assists. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Rob says Nuggets win tonight, and I'm eating hot dogs until Christmas. Oh, man. That's pretty bad. AB says Cade Cunningham over 24.5 points plus rebounds, or Garland 5.5 assists. I like Garland a little bit more in this spot tonight. Detroit's been the top-rated defensive team over the last 3. I'm sorry. Memphis has been the top defensive-rated team over the last 3 games. And Cade also has Bogdanovich back, so maybe less scoring for Cade, and he can actually, get some other guys involved tonight. We'll see how it goes. What's up to my guy S. in the chat? He says, let's go. JJJ, he likes Hami Jaquez Jr. over 14.5 points, and he likes the Heat on the money line tonight. So we got some S. Love for his Miami Heat. Fear Elite says Dallas first half a good look. I would have to look a little bit more into it, but I think so, fairly. I think first quarter, first half could be a good look. Even if you don't necessarily take the spread, maybe team total overs for the first quarter, first half for the Dallas Mavericks. I expect them to run Utah out the gym tonight. We'll see how it goes. He also Esther also like Laurie over his points and assists. He's cashing, especially after last comments on this game. Yeah, he also back in the six tonight, visiting his stomping grounds, Toronto Raptors, where he spent a lot of his career. Damian said, I caught Cade at 22.5 early, wishing I had added a assist with Bobat, with Bogdanovich back. Yeah, I could not talk you off of that spot at all. So a couple more games to get to, just two. The Warriors and the Blazers. I'm be very, very quick with this game. You guys know we've been cashing with the Blazers for the most part. Couple games in a row we've been backing them, and they've actually been winners. They are 7-5 against the number on the road. Don't like this spot for them. They're only 6-13. Their offense has really, really struggled to score the ball, even against Utah. But I'm no way on God's green earth am I laying 13 with the Golden State Warriors right now. They're 2-8 against the number at home. This is typically where you want to fade them the most. They are coming off pretty devastating loss. Let's just put it like that. I watched that game throughout its entirety. They lost to the Clippers. They were up by 22 points. Draymond Green hit 3 or 4 threes in the first half. Like, they were killing in that spot. And Paul George gained Klay Thompson. Russell Westbrook got the rebound, pushed it up the court, right wing, takes a couple dribbles, step back, three, splash, right in Klay face, and they end up losing that game. So now Golden State, they do get a chance to get some get back. This is not the most favorable spots, even though you typically want to buy in on these older teams. Golden State is extremely old. You want to buy in on these teams when they've had a couple days to kind of get some practice underneath them. They do, however, this is like not the greatest spot because it's been, a game on the road, this game at home, and then they actually got to travel out to OKC. Then they got Phoenix and they got the Clippers on deck as well. So could be, a lot of bigger games on the slate, a lot of bigger fish to fry, you could say, coming up. So, maybe they look at this game and they say, you know what, like, we'll kind of take it easy. Draymond has, religiously said, on his podcast before, it's hard to get up for these games. On the Portland side, what I failed to mention was that Jeremy Grant did hit his head. I watched him hit his head in that Utah game. He didn't finish that game. I don't think he was available for overtime. And he's in the concussion protocol as of yesterday. And then on the opposite side, staying on that same side, you also got DeAndre Ayton is listed as doubtful. So without those two guys in, I think this is why you get such an inflated number with Golden State. The Blazers could really, really struggle to score in this spot tonight. It's going to have to be a big game from Brogdon, from Shaedon Sharpe. But we know when you're attacking the Warriors, you typically want to do it through a big man. So I was actually looking for Ayton numbers. Ayton props actually aren't even listed because he's listed as doubtful. He probably doesn't play in this game. Even if he does play, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to keep this one close. So I know that the number's big. I'm definitely not laying the points here. I think maybe a look towards the unders because I think Blazers team total could actually go under. Blazers also been playing really, really slow pace. And if the Warriors aren't going to be extremely locked in, then I think this total goes under the 226 number that we see right now. Real quick, back to the chat. Loketo TV says, what are your thoughts on under 9.5 points for Draymond Green? Absolutely not. You must not have been watching the way Draymond shot the three lately. Draymond's been cooking. Draymond hit 4 threes in the first half the other day. No way I could take the under on Draymond right now. He's actually been scoring. And what we know, the Warriors, they looking for every single person they can to try to find ways to score the ball. So I couldn't play Draymond to go under on his points, rebounds, and assists. Also, you got Wiggins listed as game time decision. He is likely to play. They're still going to be without Chris Paul. They're still going to be without Gary Payton II. I couldn't play Draymond to go under. That's just me. He's cooking a little too much, and I don't see a lot of resistance, with this version of the Portland Trail Blazers, even though they have been a really good defensive team. Scotty, this is a look that I was kind of looking at. I don't think the numbers dropped yet. He says he's looking at Jabari Walker props, possibly double-double. I'll be looking at his rebounds, especially if Ayton doesn't play in this game. He is the backup center for people who don't know. And I've watched him play. He can go down there and really clean up. He's a big, strong, physical guy. I think he's 6'10", close to 250, 240, something like that. So, yeah, I'll be looking at him in this spot as well. He's going to be motivated, especially if he gets to start. And he's had some pretty big games as well. Coop says Golden State cannot keep a lead. Something to keep in mind for going forward. Yeah, maybe they're winning by 25. You lie bet, the other team because they kind of let up off the gas. We'll see. Trunk says, what's your preferred betting app, bro? The one with the best odds. I got 16 sports books downloaded on my phone. Trunks, and I just use OddsJam. Shout out to OddsJam. Find the best odds, and that's the book that I upload to. I keep all my money in PayPal. All my money is in my PayPal account. I upload from my PayPal account to the sports book, make my bet. At the end of the night, I take all my money out, put it back into my PayPal account. So it's like my bankroll. My bankroll is my PayPal account. Every now and then I'll withdraw from my PayPal account and put it in my checking account. Take it out. Feel the money. It's good to feel your winnings and spend it too. Yeah. So my best betting app is the one that has the best number. Trunks, and I'm being honest with you. Navi says, but I do like, if I'm betting spreads, I do like Bet365 because they give you, if your team goes up by 20, you automatically win the bet. You don't have to worry about the team coming back. So I'll just add that real quick. If I'm playing a spread, it's typically on Bet365 if they have the best number. But you got to shop around, man. A lot of these books will have shorter numbers. Like for tomorrow, I like the Bucks, and that number moved from 4.5 to 5. It opened at 4 this morning, went to 4.5, went to 5, came back down to 4.5. But there's some 4s out there, so you got to shop around, see if you can get you a 4. Always looking for the best number every single time. Scott says also Reef threes if Aiden is out. Yeah, Reef is a big guy too. Could not talk you off there. S. Dot says Juan Soto to the Yankees. Yeah, I saw that as well. Juan Soto is out of San Diego and will be a Yankee. That's going to be crazy to see him in that jersey because the Padres low-key got the coldest jerseys in the MLB, but you're going to have the pinstripes on, man. We'll see how that goes. All right, last game up. We got the Nuggets and the Clippers. Real brief on this one. So I can't touch the Clippers. This team can't beat Jokic even if Jokic doesn't play. Jokic can stay in Denver, they lose. Jokic could play in the game, they lose. Now you see the Clippers laying 1 point in this spot, and this was a game that was very fishy last time. The Clippers, very Jekyll and Hyde team. They typically win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and that's been the theme for them. Looking at the Clipper team, they just got the win against Golden State, but they came out so flat in that spot. They won that game 113 to 112. They lose, and they were laying 5.5 points in that spot and was getting smoked, losing by 20 in that spot. They lost to Golden State the game before. They beat the Kings the game before. They lost to Denver the game before. They beat the Mavericks the game before. They lost to the Pelicans the game before. They beat the Spurs the game before. So it's win, loss. Until this team gets serious, I can't get serious with betting them. That's just the way I feel. The Nuggets have been not the greatest team on the road. This team is pretty lackluster on the road. I know Jamal Murray is also listed as questionable. He's a game-time decision. Another reason why I can't bet this game, I would like to know if he's in or he's out. I think Aaron Gordon is very likely to play, so he's going to be back in this spot. He returned in the last game. Denver is also off a loss as well. They're only 5-7 on the road and 3-9 against the number, but I'm not taking the Clippers who are 4-5 against the number at home, and that's just how I kind of see the game. I'd rather keep my money in my pocket than to put it on the Clippers. They are 8-2 to the under because their offense still continues to be lackluster and not be able to score when you got Paul George and Kawhi kind of standing in the corner. So, yeah, I don't want to bet Denver on the road because they really struggled in this spot. They've lost games to Sacramento, even though that was the second leg of a back-to-back. They lost to Houston on the road. They lost to the Magic on the road. They lost to Cleveland on the road. They lost to New Orleans on the road. So it's not a spot that I really want to back them in, but I can't put my money on the Clippers. That's just how I see the game. If anything, I'm looking at Jokic props, but I'll probably wait until I know specifically if Jamal Murray is going to play in this game or not. So those are my thoughts there. I didn't play anything in this game. Real quick to the comment section. Real DJX says he likes Bet Online. He says Bet 360. I'm not sure what that is. If that's Bet 365 or not, he does not like. Gave it a thumbs down. S. says Nuggets all day. Navi says, like I said last time, Reggie Jackson owns the Clippers. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, man. I know that James Harden can't guard anybody, though. That's what I do know. Fred says, Chris, what's up? I like Wemby over 1.5 threes today. Best of luck if you end up playing that tonight. My brother Fred, y'all send me requests, man. Let me know what you guys are on. I broke down every game. It took me an hour and 14 minutes to do so. We're gonna stay live for probably about 15 more minutes, get some more people up. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me. By the time I'm done taking a sip of water, you probably already been able to hit the like button. Boy, your boy is over here parched. Excuse me. And now send me the request, man. Let me know what you guys are on. Real quick, official plays for me, and I'm gonna type these up and put them in the what I play segment at the bottom. I'm on Philly team total over 124.5. I got that number at Bet365. Philly team total over 124.5. I think they run the Wizards out of their own building today and score 130 plus points in this spot. Philly team total over 124.5, minus 115 on Bet365. Desmond Bane, points and assists, minus 125 on DraftKings. 30.5 is the number. Bojan Bogdanovic for Detroit, same game, over his 2.5 3-point makes, plus 106 on FanDuel. Is what I got there. The 2.5 is the number. Like I said, he was 3 for 10 in the first game, and I think he's going to shoot a bunch of them. Memphis, bottom 5 defensive rated team against the 3, percentage-wise and makes on the season. Cam Thomas, season tonight, especially without Lonnie Walker. Played him over 20.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings. And last but not least, I took the Spurs team total under 108.5 with, like I said, outside of that Boston game, Minnesota hasn't allowed a team to score to go over their team total all season. And the Spurs only averaging 107 on the road. Minnesota top 5 defensive rated team. Blah. So those are my top 5 plays. They all make sense. So you could just fade all of them because that's typically what's been hitting lately. So maybe you bet, Philly team total under, Desmond Bane under, Bogdanovic to make no threes, alt line, Cam Thomas under 20.5 points, and the Spurs to score 130. Who knows right now in the NBA? But those are the top 5 top plays that I played. I'm interested to hear from you guys. Let's get my guy Finesse up first. He gave out a winner yesterday. He was on Brunson. Well, he was not on Brunson when I was on Brunson, and he was on RJ Barrett, which was a nice pivot for my guy Finesse. So let's get Finesse up first. Finesse, talk to me. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I would love to win some money today, Finesse, but I can't bank on that either. Just nothing going right for me right now, man. What's going on with you?
You're gonna do it, bro. I believe in you.
I appreciate that, my brother. Send all the good vibes. I need them, bro.
So I missed the first couple of games. So you spoke on Desmond Bane already, right?
Yes, sir. Love Desmond Bane in this spot, Finesse. I just think that, for outside of the cap Finesse, of him, just having extreme high volume and I talked about the team meeting that they had and the hard practice that they had, a couple games before, well, it was the game against the Jazz 3 games ago. They had that hard practice, and he's been hooping ever since then. But also, from a humiliation standpoint, you can't lose this game and give Detroit their first win, since 2019 season. So you gotta, bring your A game. And I think Desmond Bane's a prideful player. He's not going to, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure they win the game. So if he's not going to be scoring it, he's going to be assisting. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I'm sure you talked about kind of the Detroit's defense or lack thereof and shit like that. So I'll try to get some points that hopefully you ain't touch on. But yeah, I'm on Bane over 30.5 points and assists. And then I played Bane 25 plus points and 8 plus assists at plus 515 on DK. Obviously, I don't expect those numbers to be in the same places, but I like them around there. Detroit's defense awful. Obviously, the matchup really intrigues me, right? Based on what Bane does well and what Detroit doesn't do well. Detroit's bottom 5 in points in the paint allowed and fast break points. Those 2 things, along with Detroit's defense just being terrible, I think kind of plays right into Bane's game. He leads the team in drives per game, transition points per game, leads the team in points, assists, attempting nearly 20 shots per game, which you kind of touched on. And he's been dominating usage rate, hovering around that 30% usage rate all season. 14 potential assists per game in his last 5 games, which is great already. But I expect his teammates to convert those potentials at an even higher rate for such a poor defense. Another reason, this was really interesting to me, another reason I like Bane in this matchup tonight, Detroit is allowing 21 points per game and over 11 assists per game solely to the pick and roll ball handler. Those are insane numbers. Those both rank bottom 4 on the year, Memphis obviously likes to run a lot of pick and roll. Bane being the main kind of ball handler. Most of the times in those pick and roll, Derrick Rose is back. He's playing decent minutes, so I expect him to be in those pick and rolls as well. Detroit has also struggled to defend guards, allowing the fourth most points per game in the last 7 games from point guards, allowing them to shoot nearly 50% from the field. They've also struggled with, top scorers on other teams. Randall and Brunson, we just saw combined for 71 points. DeJounte Murray had 32 points in a game without Trey. DeMar DeRozan put up 29, and the list kind of just goes on and on. So, yeah, love Bane tonight. He's been kind of hot and cold for me. I've cashed, some ladder runs with him, and he's also, shot 3-4 million and kind of cost me some money. So, but yeah, great spot against a poor defense. What do we got next? I'll put together a little builder. Again, I won't explain it all. It should be really self-explanatory. Philadelphia, money line. DeMar DeRozan, 20-plus points. He scored 20-plus points in 25 straight games without Zach LaVine. 25 straight games. He scored 20-plus points without Zach LaVine. Fred VanVleet, 2+ threes. OKC, terrible at guarding the three. And Cam Johnson of the Nets, 2+ threes. So that's plus 144 on FanDuel when I got it. Really like that, especially at the plus money. And then moving back to some straights, Cam Thomas, 20-plus points. Probably the most popular player today. I hate it. He's probably going to mysteriously get a migraine at half and go home at half. That's probably what's going to happen. But, yeah, too good of a spot for me to back off of that. I'm sure other people will have it, so I'll let them explain it. Bogdanovich, I think you touched on him as well. I don't know necessarily what the books, either they know something or they just not fully caught up. Obviously made a season debut last game against the Cavs. Tough debut, against a team that plays relatively good defense on the perimeter. I took Bogdanovich 2.5 threes. It was plus 106, still plus 106 around that area now. The man took 10 threes in only 27 minutes last game. Only 15 shots and 10 of them with threes. I expect his game to be more well-balanced moving forward. But, I think this team really, really needs that. A sharpshooter from the outside, a catch-and-shoot guy from the outside, give more space to guys like Cade, guys like Ivy who love to drive the ball. So I think it's going to be a constant theme. I highly doubt we see this number at plus money many, many times moving forward. So I'm going to take it while we got it. And then I'm on the thick one. Kyle Lowry, 10-plus points at minus 105 and 15-plus points at plus 490. This one is a little scary. Obviously, the market is moving against me. The 10-plus points was like minus 140 earlier in the day. And then I saw it drop, and that's when I kind of put it out. 7 shots seems to be the magic number for Lowry. If he gets 7 shots, he's hitting around 80% of the time. Doesn't sound like much, but Lowry's one of those guys that is 100% content with just standing in the corner, not taking many shots. But I feel like he's going to kind of have to. Obviously, Jimmy's still there to score, but we know what Toronto loves to do, which is take the number one option away from teams. So I think Lowry has volume tonight, especially from 3. I think he drains a couple of threes, finds himself at the line at least 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 attempts from the line, from the free throw line. And hopefully he can just cover the base. I haven't had much luck with Lowry, but yeah, hopefully he's not just standing in the corner the whole night. So yeah, those are the main straights. I also have a double-double parlay. Jalen Duran, Nick Claxton, Derek Lively, all to get double-doubles. That's plus 24.57 on FanDuel. So yeah, a little bit of sprinkles, builders, some straight action. I feel like it's going to be a good night. A lot of good games, blow potential I'm trying to stay away from. So yeah, that's all I got. I love this slate. And hopefully we all make some money. I'm excited to hear what everybody got to say. So yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Hey, big love, Finesse. I love your card tonight, man. And you definitely got a lot of things that make sense, Finesse, which scares me a lot, bro. So I hope you cash them, but they make a little too much sense because I won a couple of them as well. So hopefully we can get some cash tonight, Finesse. Appreciate your contributions to the show, man, giving out the plays for free and stopping by and dropping all the wisdom and knowledge, bro. Always appreciate Finesse for coming through. All right, let's keep going. Let's go. So real quick, I'm looking at before I get to Dream and Godspeed and Cam, and I'm gonna get Hustle up as well. Then we're gonna get off here. I'm looking at. I saw Mark Waves just got listed as out. while I was listening to Finesse breakdown, I went in and looked at the numbers for the Charlotte Hornets. I know Chicago team total over today is pretty popular. I'm not saying everybody's on it, but I'm looking at Mark Williams' numbers. So The Bulls, the Hornets are defensive rating with them on the floor is a 119, which is absolutely trash because Mark Williams is a pretty good defender. But when Mark Williams goes off the floor, their defensive rating drops to 125. So that Chicago team total is something that I'm looking just a little bit more into, just for people who are interested. They're giving up. The Hornets are giving up 124 points per game on the road as a dog this season. 7-1 to the over. They've allowed every team that they've played against to go over their team total outside of the Washington Wizards. So that's the spot that I'm looking at. Just FYI, their total should go up, maybe full game over or team total over for the Hornets. These are the ones that I don't cap and just kind of do on the fly. And these are the ones that be cashing. Honestly, I'll write this down as a lean and then not play it, and they'll score 125 points tonight. So just wanted to kind of share with you guys that. Let's keep going though. Definitely writing that one down. I think my pen ran out of ink, so I got to write it on my other laptop. But yeah, I think Chicago team total over. Interested to see what that number is because Hornets been giving it up. And I think Chicago's offense is gross, but I think they can score against a fast-paced Rockets team. So especially without this starting center. So just wanted to share that real quick. Let's go Dream. Then we'll go Godspeed. Then we'll go Cam. And I'm going to get you up as well, Hustle. Then we'll get up out of here. Dream, what's going on, my brother? Big slate. Let me know what the vibes are.
Good vibes, man. How you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Trying to find some cash today, Dream. What's going on with you?
Well, y'all can hop on FanDuel right now. They haven't moved Miles Bridges' lines yet, and they're still moving them around. They still have Mark Williams listed as in. So yeah, Miles Bridges rebounds to the moon. You would think tonight. Chicago gives up the most rebounds to his position. Mark Williams just got ruled out. His rebound line at Bear Rivers is 6.5. Haven't played it. Probably won't because I got enough action out here, but just good luck. But I did just put blunt money on this 12 at plus 700. So yeah. And I also I'll give out a blunt money bet with his rebounds now as well, with 9 rebounds and Embiid 8 assists. That is like a plus 860. I did that hours ago with just anticipation of this news, but again, doesn't look like the books have adjusted yet. So yeah, Miles Bridges 9 rebounds and Embiid 8 assists. Love Embiid tonight. I'm on Embiid every which way. So pause. But yeah, so that 8 assists is not what I think is going to happen tonight. I think he got a 50-point triple-double. But most of my blunt money is on his points. But for the sense of that blunt money bet, I just put Embiid assists. All right, so that's 2. And I give y'all actually my one I intended on giving before this news just dropped. So finesse, all that stuff he said was dope. And I gotta actually introduce my guy to the Dream Detroit system. So basically every guy that is the number 1 leading scorer goes over their point prop. It's just that simple. 18 of the last 20 games. Mitchell just fucked up the streak. It was 18 straight. It was either 18 straight or it was 18 of 19. Yeah, it was 18 of 19 as I look at these notes. Levine actually fucked it up. He started the streak with 51, believe it or not, all the way back when he had 51. He started that streak of every guy who has the highest point prop against Detroit goes over the prop. Go back and check it. I'm not going to go over it again, but I did eloquently before the Knicks game, and they both went over it. So, with that being said, a nice round robin 3s and 4s. We're going to go Desmond Bain, 30 points. Tyrese Maxey, 8 assists. One of the motherfuckers going to have 8 assists.
That's a fact.
Go for it.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Bain, 30 points. Maxey, 8 assists. Cam, 25 points. Cam Thomas, 25 points. And Terry Rozier, 8 assists. Love those spots for all those guys. Everybody know about Cam, so need to speak on that. Biggest 3s ladder sneaky too, by the way. 4 threes plus 600.
Who 3s ladder, Jane?
Cam Thomas.
Oh, Cam Thomas 3. Oh, absolutely.
Nice little pivot from points. He's got 4 threes in 2 of his last 4 games, including 16 attempts against Milwaukee. This is Atlanta, another team that I wouldn't be surprised if he get 12 attempts up against. So, not the best 3-point shooter, but plus 600 seems like a nice price. But anyway, yeah, Cam 25 points, self-explanatory. Rozier 8 assists. Since LaMelo, LaFleur been out, he's been balling. He's been doing what he's supposed to do, getting assists, getting points. Almost got there with his base 6.5. So I said, fuck it, I'm putting a blunt money bet Talked about Maxey, won't be surprised if we get 8, 10, 12. Same with Embiid, 8, 10, 12, won't be surprised. And bang, all that stuff Vanessa said sounds way better than what I said. So whatever you said, that's why I like Bane 30 minutes today. I decided for my system. And that's what I'm on, y'all. Let's go look. Oh, I have my straights posted on my page. I got like 4 straights. I have them posted on my page in a second. But they're actually already on my page now, so you can look. But I'll have them all tidy in a post pretty soon. Best of luck, everybody. Let's get some bread, man.
Absolutely, Dream. Appreciate you, bro. As always, man. I ain't said it in a minute, but definitely, shoot Dream a follow if you haven't already. He doing this show every day as well. Blunt Money Bets, up and coming capper in my eyes still, even though he's been doing this for a minute. Definitely dropping gems. Y'all come here for my straight born bets. Dream giving out plus thousands, plus 500s, plus 5,000, plus 50,000, all that good stuff.
AD sold on plus 2,300. I gave out by 2 points, but it was a good read.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know if you give it out, it's a good read, Dream. But if I lose on something like that, I probably won't do a show the next day. I'm gonna just let you guys know, even with a sprinkle. That's why I don't do it, because I hate losing bets. Like any of them, I hate losing. But I understand, the odds and the unit size being appropriate and all that good stuff. I just don't like it, man. Best of luck to Dream tonight, though. And like I said, shoot him a follow. Definitely check him out as well. Let's go Godspeed. Then we'll go Cam, and then we'll get Hustle Up, and then we'll get ready to get up out of here. Talk to me, Godspeed. What's going on today, my brother? How you doing?
What's good, bro? I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, Godspeed. Talk to me. What we liking today?
For the first time, Chris, it was actually something you said that I didn't agree with, but wasn't NBA. It was MLB. The Yankees do not have the best jerseys. The Cincinnati Red, those black and red jerseys are the hardest jerseys in the league.
Okay.
But I love that too. And finesse, you already touched on Bogdanovich. I'm on him as a straight as well.
Did you ladder him, Godspeed?
I didn't.
Okay.
Ladder him. I just took him as a straight. Just because,
you did, Dream? Okay. The 3 specifically, Dream, to 5?
Yeah, his 4 threes is plus 300.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be making that investment. Okay. That's the blunt money bet for me if we got one. Okay. Say no more, Dream. Appreciate you. All right, go ahead, Godspeed.
Yeah, I didn't get on the ladder just because small sample sizes, but Detroit, they need this shooting so fucking bad. We talked about it for the longest, and now they finally got somebody that can knock down shots. So volume, y'all already touched on it, but I'm gonna touch on some other 3-point shooters, and we're gonna talk about Trae Young and Tyrese Maxey, man. So I took their threes and laddered them together. You guys can do them separately. It's always safer that way because if one hits like 5 and the other one has a shitty day, you're still up. But I want to have some fun, so I ran them together. Trae Young is averaging 3.8 3-pointers in the last 10 games with 9.7 attempts per game. He had 8 3-pointers made versus this same Brooklyn team in Atlanta in his last home game. We know Trae Young always turn up in the A. He had 16 3-point attempts in that game. That alone, it just sold me. You know what I'm saying? And as well as Brooklyn giving up the most 3-pointers to the point guard position. So Trae Young has been getting hot. So I mean, at the crib, I already got numbers on him. I had to play my boy Trae Young, and then I put him with Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, he's had 3+ 3-pointers made in 8 out of the last 10 games. Over his last 10, he is averaging 3.5 3-pointers made with 9 3-point attempts per game. He had 3 3-pointers versus Washington earlier this season, and in that game, he had 9 3-point attempts. The Wizards are allowing an average of 3.04 3-pointers made to the point guard position. I even went a little bit further since everybody thinks it's going to be a blowout. Tyrese Maxey has played under 35 minutes twice this season, and the 2 times that he played under 35 minutes, he still managed to hit 3 threes. So instead of starting the ladder at their line, I started it at the 3-3 because both of their lines is 3.5. So therefore, if both of them hit 3 threes, the way that I broke my units up is you still profit if they both hit 3 and miss the rest of the ladder. So I got their 3-3 on ESPN bet at plus 121. I threw a half unit on net. And then I did 4-4. It was plus 384. I threw 0.2, and then I did another 0.2 on the 5-5. It was plus 1420, and then I did a 0.1 on 6-6 just because, like, I don't know. I just did a 0.1, so 1 unit risk total. Like I said, if they hit the base, you up. It's small profit. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, but you're up. Dream touched on Terry Rozier. I won't get into details, but I did take him as a straight. Also, Finesse touched on Fred VanVleet. I took his threes as a straight, and I'm going to give my OKC bet of the day because I'm an OKC fan and OKC plays today. I haven't even put it in yet, but I'm going to take SGA over 2.5 blocks and steals. SGA is leading the league in steals per game. I'm pretty sure he's top 3 in blocks per game for a guard. He led the league in that category last season. When you look at SGA on the road, can you? Somebody called me.
Yeah, no, you good, Godspeed. You said when you look at him on the road.
Yeah, when you look at SGA on the road, he's averaging 3.9 steals plus blocks. His line is 2.5. I mean, SGA is a guy that we know what he does on offense, but I know people sleep on his defense. Like I said, he leads the league in steals. He can go get 3 steals tonight alone. So I really love that look for SGA over 2.5 steals plus blocks. And that's what I got. Also, matter of fact, we cashed KD rebounds yesterday, but we missed on Nurkic assists because Nurkic got the assist, but Devin Booker didn't get 23 points. That is the most annoying thing in the world when you try to bring juice down on a prop with something that's kind of like it's
supposed to be free. Yeah, that's why I don't do it. That's exactly why I don't do it, guys. But I can't talk you off for not doing it because he's probably gonna cash next time. But that's why I try not to do that, bro. Yeah. Second time he done burnt me, and probably second time he done had a bad game all season. For some reason I just keep finding bad spots to back Devin Booker, man. First time I do it, he rolled his ankle. I had big money on Toronto, in that game on Toronto too. So I'm right there with you, bro. I know how I feel.
Sure, bro. I know Cam up next, so I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna give y'all another straight. I'm on Dennis Schroeder assist versus Miami. I'm gonna ask Cam if you can you touch on how you feel about Dennis Schroeder assist versus Miami? But that's all I got. I already locked it in. So yeah, that's what I'm on today.
Hey, best of luck, man. Always appreciate you sharing the looks as well, my brother.
Appreciate it, bro. Good luck tonight.
Absolutely. All right, let's go, Cam. And then we'll go hustle and we'll get up out of here. What's up, Cam?
Hey, what's good?
How you doing? Yeah, you good?
Split the next game and then had a pretty nice late game. If they didn't allow that timeout, would have been a nicer game for me. But the LeBron came through with that plus 300, so I hope some of y'all got in on that and KD do what he does. So it was a good day.
Yeah.
Tonight, I want to keep it small, but it's tough. So I'm very scared about this Cam Thomas thing now because it happened with the Brunson, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes too much sense, but I looked at it a different way. So my Cam Thomas play is over 2.5 threes at plus 185. I was looking at a way to get plus money out of him without having the ladder's points. So I took the threes, which is like plus 180 or something. I'll get to the exact number when I open up my app. To answer your question, I didn't cap Dennis Schroeder at all. I've kind of been off him recently, so I can't really answer. What I will say is I think this is a game where the Raptors kind of run away. I think it's a double digit win. I'm not betting it because I just don't bet Raptors win or losses, but I do think we will handle tonight. And typically when we win games, Dennis Schroeder averages 7 assists in all our wins. So in a way, we look directly at the assists to answer your question. And if we win, then he'll go over. I took Scotty Barnes first quarter over 4.5 points. People probably like Scotty Barnes sucks in the first quarter. He does, except against Miami. Against Miami, he averages 6 points in the first quarter. And his last game against the Knicks, he just seemed like he just getting a bit more assertive. So I took Scotty Barnes first quarter over 4.5 points, plus 120. Pascal Siakam over 7.5 rebounds. Tonight at minus 115. I think 6. He's gone over that. No ban. He's been getting busy. Usage is high, so I really like Pascal tonight to go for his rebound prop, and it kind of saves you in case the game doesn't get out of hand. I think he gets the rebounds before he gets some points. I got Jimmy Butler over 36.5. This is the one I'm probably the most skeptical about. 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Most skeptical about. But that's made a good point. We do like taking away the best player, but what we also suck at is figuring out what to do when the best player finds the open man. As we saw with Dante DiVincenzo and a lot of other guys. So there's somebody who Jimmy will be finding from an assist perspective, and I think Jimmy gets to the line at least 10 times tonight. And if he does that, he will go over 36.5 PRA, I believe. So I took that at minus 115. It's now minus 110. And then that's it. That's it. Because I gave the Cam Thomas look already. So those are the 4 looks I'm looking at tonight. I really like the Bojan look too, so I'm probably gonna tail that. And hope that we get some justice. Oh no, sorry, I gave this out on this was the look I forgot to give out. It's suspended now. It's the 76ers. So I don't typically I agree, Chris. So I think the last few times this has happened, where I've been fully in agreement with you on it's a big spread, the team's gonna go over, and each time we should just bet the spread. So personally, the way I looked at it, and I looked at that too last night, Philly's gonna destroy this team. That's how I looked at it. I'm like, I'll just take the minus 5.5. So I got minus 5.5. So it'd be disingenuous for me to tell anybody bet the larger spread, but I took it as soon as I saw it. But I truly believe Philly clears minus 5.5. It's one of those ones where I'm like, I'm not gonna be afraid of the spread. I'm taking good necessarily, and I'll be playing at 365. So kind of you do get that one go up. So that's where I'm at. So that was my last play.
Okay. To your point, Cam, I looked it up real quick. The Wizards as dog this season. When they're 10-point dogs or more, they're 0-6 straight up, 2-4 against the numbers. So they've covered 33%. They 6-0 to the over, giving up 135.67 points in that spot. So that was one of the things I looked at yesterday too. Hopefully Philly continue. To me, it was just about pacing this one, Cam, because you're right. I always evaluate my losses, and I think looking at those teams to score. But like I said, in this spot specifically, the Wizards have given up 130 to the Magic, 139 to the Magic, 131 to the Bucks, 142 to the Bucks, 146 to the Sixers already this season, and 126 to the Celtics. So hopefully Philly can do what they're supposed to do and score points.
They just missed it. They crushed the Spurs. And I'm like, I was hovering, so. But they can't make sense.
Yeah, no, they both make sense. Best of luck tonight, Cam. I hope you cash, bro. All right, let's go. Hustle. What's going on, my brother?
Chris, what's the deal?
Hey, same old soup, reheated, man. Hey, Hustle. I keep losing these bets. I might not even have no soup to eat soon. No fork or nothing. So.
Man, you might have to start eating soup with a toothpick, man. One thing that I've always known, if I have a streak on something, I hear you say that I forgot what you said. Every time you take the under, it goes over. I would just fade myself. It's been plenty of times, but I just had to fade myself because that's the way the game was going. I cap the game, and then I say, look, I've been wrong, such and such. Or I'm on the bench, man. Let me just go in and fade myself, man, see what happens. And sometimes I ain't got paid like that. So sometimes if that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, no, you make a strong point. What you liking tonight, Hustle?
Yeah. First, man, before I get into that, man, I wanted to say something. For people that might not know, I'm from Los Angeles, California, but I moved to Vegas to go to UNLV. So I live in Vegas, and today we had a shooting at UNLV. Looks like a couple people lost their lives. So I just want to send condolences to anybody that's affected, to the whole city, man. My thoughts and prayers, are with everybody, man. I just wanted to say that.
I hadn't even seen that today, Hustle. I appreciate you sharing that, man. Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, man. And we're supposed to have an in-season tournament here. Hopefully, they don't affect that, but they got the city kind of shut down right now. So, all we can do is just pray and just, hope that things get better. You know what I'm saying? But today, man, I just wanted to give out an easy one on here. My thing with, with the show and everything, I just like to give y'all one, and then, I give out my other one in my free Discord on my Twitter on the timeline or whatever. So, I'm going with an old faithful here. I'm going with my boy Paolo for 19. I got him at 19 at minus 150 on Caesars. So I'm seeing the rest of the books. They got him at 19 and a half for very close to the even money. So, you can take that. But I added, I took Paolo and Philly money line to get to minus 104. And I'm taking that for a full unit on Caesars. And, that's what I got for the early game. So we're on with that.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I didn't mention this on the show, but somebody asked about Evan Mobley over his 10 points to put in a parlay, and I had looked into that matchup because I thought Paulo had a pretty difficult matchup against Evan Mobley. But when I was looking into it yesterday, Paulo actually been getting the best of Evan Mobley. I know Evan Mobley's like potential defensive player of the year and all that good stuff, but I want to say they played 4 times so far, and Paulo's been averaging like 22 points against them in their, short careers. So could not talk you off of that at all, Hustle. Best of luck to you, and I appreciate you for sharing the tragic news about the shooting that happened at UNLV. I'm looking at it right now. This is a crazy world we live in, man. Hug somebody you love is what I always say, man. Hug somebody you love.
Absolutely. But I want to say, Paolo, man, against the Cavs, last season he averaged, no less than 20. And Paolo is a 20-point a game guy. Even if he doesn't start off strong, I never panic with Paolo because in the second half, he can give you 15, right off the rip. So I do like Paolo. I also like Franz Wagner in this spot. They got him at 20 and a half. They don't win this game without these two guys scoring. And I see them possibly winning this game. You know what I'm saying? So I like this Orlando Magic team. I've been a low key fan of them since last season. So yeah, that's what I'm rocking.
Okay. Hey, best of luck tonight, Hustle. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, I'll see you at the in-season tournament game, man.
Yeah, I wish I could make it out there. I ain't gonna make it out there now. I just got too much stuff going on, but I was definitely trying. I might try to make it out there next year.
You sweep from the mic tonight, you might change your mind.
Hey, it ain't a money thing, Hustle. I could get out there. The flight's actually cheap. The game tickets cheap. Like I saw some good tickets. Like it definitely ain't a money thing, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes next year. We'll definitely see how it goes next year. Best of luck tonight, Hustle. Absolutely, bro. You too. So real quick, I am going to add the Chicago team total over. It looks like the number is matriculating up to 113, but you can get a 112.5 on DraftKings. And I can't put it in while I'm on my phone just because for some reason the volume always goes out in those spots. So yeah, I'm gonna add Chicago team total over 112.5 for people who stayed on. Also tomorrow, let's go Finesse real quick and then I'll close out. What's up, Finesse? So it didn't really move up a lot, Finesse. It's still like 220.5, which I think is pretty crazy. And I think it's not. I think the total should have moved up some, but I still see 220.5. I see some 220s out there as well. Without Mark Williams, I feel like it's just going to be even, played at a faster pace and less defense. So I like Chicago to be able to score just a tad bit more. So I'm going to take their team total over 112.5. All right, cool. So add that to what you guys see at the bottom. Philly team total over 124.5. Stayed away from the spread. Desmond Bane over 30.5 points plus assists. Bogdanovich for Detroit, not Atlanta. Detroit, Bogdanovich, 12 over 2.5 threes. Sprinkling on the 4 as well. Cam Thomas over 20.5 points as well. And San Antonio team total under 108.5. If I add anything, it'll be in the YouTube membership group. If you guys want access, shoot me a DM on Twitter. It's also in the YouTube comment section as well. $5.99 a month to get you access to all my plays when I post them. For tomorrow, I already got some looks for tomorrow. It's a total that I really, really like. And it's also a spread that I really, really like that I will be playing for tomorrow. In-season tournament been crazy, but I feel pretty confident with these two. So best of luck to everybody tonight, man. Let's try to make more money than we lose. run it up a little bit. The NBA has been crazy the last few days, but stick to your unit size. Always enjoy the games. Bet responsibly, and we'll do this all over again. I'll probably end up posting a video tomorrow because for people who don't know, the in-season tournament games actually start at 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So it's a game played at 2. The Eastern Conference teams play at 2, which will be the Bucks and the Pacers. The Western Conference teams actually play at 5 o'clock in Vegas tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So I probably won't do a video then. Daniel says we know that over 255 and 255. I saw it open to 254 between the Bucks and the Pacers. I haven't touched that total thing, but I can only play it over if I'm being honest. I think the Bucks gonna get whatever it is that they want. The Pacers gonna be trying to play as much defense as they did against Boston, but right now that Boston offense is not as good as the Milwaukee offense, especially without having Porzingis in there. So we'll see. Best of luck to everybody tonight, though, man. I got to get out of here. All my plays are posted at the bottom. The only one I added, like I said, was Chicago team total over 112.5. The game started in about 15 minutes. So I'm about to go shower real quick and grab some dinner and watch these games, man. Best of luck tonight. I'm out. First game is 5 Eastern tomorrow. I think the first game is real quick while I see this. Oh, it's 5 Eastern tomorrow. I said that wrong, Scotty. My fault. You're right. It is 5 Eastern. I thought it was 2. Okay, so I must have saw that wrong. So first game is 5 Eastern tomorrow. Second one is at 9 tomorrow. Okay, yeah, that would make more sense. Okay. Appreciate you for letting me know that, Scotty. I definitely got that wrong. I should probably tweet that out. Hopefully people will look at it. Either way, I'm probably gonna do a video on that one. Best of luck to everybody still on the stream, man. Good luck tonight.